Mawdryn Undead. My thoughts. Hello and welcome to another video. This week I want to talk to you about the 5th Doctor story, Mawdryn Undead, otherwise known as part 1 of the Black Guardian trilogy. Now, I actually just rewatched Mawdryn Undead literally just 5 days before, actually 4 days before doing this recording. Though my history with that story goes back a considerably longer time. In fact, Mawdryn Undead is one of the Davison era stories that I do remember seeing at least some of on original broadcast when I was a kid, years before I actually became a proper fan, when it was just something that was on TV. Now, again, I don't remember very much about it. I would have been 7 or 8, depending on when in the year it broadcast. All I really remember is Turlo with the glowing crystal and the end of part 1 when he's about to brain the Doctor with a rock. That's pretty much all I remember. I mean, I don't remember the Black Guardian, I don't remember the Brigadier. I doubt I would have even had any clue who the Brigadier was at that point. But I do remember that, so I know it's one that I saw at least some of back in the day. Real back in the day. Now, the first time I ever saw Mawdryn Undead properly was as a fan. I'm guessing it was around 1989, because it was one of the stories that I kind of got off that fan friend I'd made the year before. Every few months I'd kind of hit him up for another fix, I know you've got the good stuff, man. I can handle it. It's just a cold. So I would go for him. I would go to him whenever I needed another fix of stuff. Because I knew he had them all, man. And it was quite a while, it was in like the 90s, I think, before it came out on BBC Video, wasn't it? So I got that in the late 80s. I can't remember whether it was shown on ABC in the early 90s. It probably was, because a lot of Davison's others were. I don't remember whether I retaped it or not. I can't remember. It's so long ago now. I do know that I never actually bought the BBC video. Because, I mean, at that point, I was still on a tight budget, so I was really only buying stuff that I didn't already have. And I already had Mawdryn Undead via either my friend and or the ABC repeats. So it was like, yeah, not buying that. So the first time I ever actually got Mawdryn Undead would have, in terms of commercial release, probably the Blu-ray, the season 20. No. I bought it on DVD. I bought the Black Guardian trilogy on DVD, and then of course I've since bought season 20. So I think I've made up for that. But yeah, Mawdryn Undead was always a favourite of mine. I've always regarded it as one of Peter Davison's best stories, one of the best stories of season 20. And having rewatched it again, like I said, just 4 days before doing this recording, I have not changed my mind on that. I still think it's a very good story. Now, I have to admit, I think it was like 18 months ago, I kind of put it in and turned it off. I don't think I was quite in the mood. I think it was earlier last year. I'd seen Earthshock, and I really enjoyed that. I think it went downhill after that, because I tried to watch Time Flight and that sucked. And I tried to watch Arc of Infinity and that sucks. And I couldn't even make it through Snake Dance. I think perhaps I was spiraling in terms of not really being in the mood for more Davison, probably, because like I said, I watched it again a few days ago, and I still really liked it. So yeah, clearly just wasn't in the mood last year. But yeah, I mean, it would have been about 89 when I first got it, and I've been watching it pretty regularly, every few years. Probably quite a lot in the early years, more like every 4 or 5 years in the last decade or so. But it's one of those stories that has been around in my collection in one form or another, and on my TV for 36 years now. Jesus. And I still like it. I still think it's a very well written story, considering the amount of things that's going on in it. It's a very packed story. You have the introduction of Turlo as a new companion. You have the return of the Brigadier. You have the return of the Black Guardian, and then you've kind of got the individual plot with Mawdryn and all of that stuff. But I think the writer does a very good job with it, and it ends up being a very interesting story that's just full of incident and it's great stuff. I mean, it's as great as ever to see Nicholas Courtney as the Brigadier. Love the kind of the twin Brigadier stuff with, and how well that's done as well. It's both in terms of the makeup and in terms of his performance. You can really see the difference in the two Brigadiers. And Mark Strickson makes a very entertainingly hammy debut as Turlo. Yeah, Mawdryn Undead has always been one of my favorite, certainly one of my favorite Davisons, and I imagine it will continue to be for many years to come. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye for now. Comment.